The first time we've had the privilege of hosting here in Wilmington, Delaware. We're just delighted to have the conference here. It was a special privilege for me because I had the opportunity to come tonight at their banquet to introduce one of my favorite colleagues in the U.S. House of Representatives, Congressman Shaka Fattah. He's been a good friend to me. He's almost like an unofficial member of our delegation. We only have a delegation of one. And so you need folks from states nearby like Shaka is right up the road in Philadelphia. So I had a lot of fun tonight. And I hope they continue to build their organization, develop the young talent to study kind of the way we organize ourselves and try to improve our communities, our country, and our state, because that's really important. Obviously, those of us who are practitioners, if you will, learn a lot from the folks who do the research and do the study.
I'm sharing with folk how I became someone who talks about politics on news networks, and I wanted to give them a sense of my own skepticism about media and the role that media plays in reinscribing racism and other issues that we have in our society. So it was a pretty personal talk. I mean, I talked about cases in my history, media cases in my history that really shaped me and directly impacted me, like the Susan Smith case or the Central Park Five. And so I hope that audience members got a sense of like who I am and why I do what I do when I'm on TV talking about politics and things of that nature. Well, first, I think for me it is exciting to be on a network that has Melissa Harris Perry, Reverend Al Sharpton, Joy Reid, Michael Eric Dyson, all the people that are there. I mean, I feel like it's the most diverse network in this nation, right? So I'm excited about that. And it's easy for me to distinguish myself because those are huge personalities. You know, if you see those folk on TV, you're not seeing anything else. And I'm not trying to be any of them either, right? I think for me, when you see me on TV, what I'm trying to do is I honestly am interested in consensus, right? And I'm also interested in communicating my viewpoints to people who don't agree with me. So I want to be communicating them in a way that people who may not agree with me will still listen. And so I hope that anytime you see me on TV, that is the energy that I'm trying to bring to the table.
Oh, well, I've been coming to the conference for about 5 years now. I started as a graduate student, and now I'm a faculty member over at the University District of Columbia. So that's how I pretty much got my start that way. Well, I'm definitely looking for some certain topics. My research focuses on deracialization, so I just came out of the deracialization panel, which was very good. And we have a few students presenting, so I'll be sitting in on their presentations, and I'm also presenting tomorrow. Well, I can say the most interesting I'll take with me is, reconceptualizing what deracialization means, particularly now when we look at the changing society and people identifying with more than one race, and what does that actually mean in terms of when we look at race, and do we really need a concept of deracialization?
Well, I'm here as a faculty member at the State University of New York Empire State College, which is the college for non-traditional adults. And I have been a member of this organization since 1977. I just became a life member this year, and I have been going to conferences all those decades as well. My particular focus recently has been on words like slave, fugitive. I always ask my students to say enslaved people because slavery is a condition, not a people. There's so much power in the words that we use. The fact that we now say chairperson instead of chairman is an example for me of language revision. The fact that we now say mail carrier instead of mailman. The fact that we say flight attendant and not stewardess. All of these things are changing our language and changing how we see what we're speaking about. And I think that will help us to move further down the road towards social justice for everyone.